Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Teen Tuesday. This week we are making mini Zen gardens. To make a mini Zen garden like this, all you need is a container to make it in, some sand, a rock, and a little wooden skewer. You'll also need something that can cut the skewer, so some sharp scissors or a wire cutter, and a hot glue gun. You might also optionally want a ruler and a pencil so that you can make marks and measure when you're making the cuts in the skewer. The skewer is going to make a little bitty rake that we can use to create patterns of ridges in the sand. So let's make that first. What we're going to do is we're going to cut pieces off of the flat end of the skewer to create prongs that stick down on the rake. Then we're going to take a section as the cross piece and attach the prongs to it, and the rest of it will be the handle. So, first thing that we need to do is cut off 3 or 4 pieces from the flat end about the same length. I'm going to cut 3 pieces off, and the first one I'm going to just cut freehand, maybe about 1 centimeter long. So like that. Then I'm going to line that up against my wooden skewer and mark how long that is so that I can cut the same length for the second one. And then measure again for the third. So now I have 3 little fingers for my rake, and they're all about the same length. Excellent. So now I'm going to cut off a piece that I can attach these 3 fingers to. It should be a little bit longer than those, but not too much longer. Maybe, let's see, I'm going to cut off a piece about maybe 2 centimeters long. So maybe a little over 1/2 inch. It's about that long. And I'm going to attach the little prongs for my rake to it using the hot glue gun, so that it's just gonna look like this, or like, I don't know, an E, I suppose, because it's got 3 lines to it. So here we go. Hot glue on the end of the prong and stick it to the cross piece. I'm going to start with the one in the middle, and then I'll put the ones on either side. Depending on how close you put them to each other, they will make different patterns when you're using it in the sand. If you put them farther apart, then the patterns that they make in the sand will be wider, and if you put them closer together, they'll be tighter. So that's an aesthetic choice that you get to make. And, you can always make it, see how it looks in the sand. If you don't like it, take off the prongs and put them back on again. It's just hot glue. So once that's hardened, almost there, you'll have something sort of like this. You'll have one cross piece with 3 little fingers sticking down. Now we're just going to hot glue the rake handle onto that little piece that we made so that it sticks out. If you'd like, you can cut off the pointy end, but you can also leave it on there, because even though we've made a rake, if you want, you can just use the handle to create the patterns in the sand as well. I'll show you what that looks like when we're done. I'll leave it on. All right, let's hot glue this onto the rake. So here we go. Let that harden for a minute. All right, so now I have a little skewer rake for my Zen garden. So let's put together the garden. So This container is just like an empty Altoids container, but you could use a larger container with more sand in it. That is your choice. Put the sand in your container. You're going to want to smooth it out, flatten it, and then the decorative rock, you can either put it on now or create the pattern and then put it on. I'm going to put that in there. Now I'm going to use my rake to create pretty patterns in the sand. Lines and swirls and circles. It is your choice. Part of making the Zen garden is just enjoying the calm that comes over you while you're making pretty patterns in the sand. Yay. And then if you don't want to use the rake side, or you don't like the way that it looks when you're done working with it, just use the handle of the rake to create the patterns that you want in the sand. Have fun playing with your little Zen garden.